So here we are again. We have to do another video about going real life. So this time it was on Natasha. It looks like she was swatted. And, you know, when something big like this happens, I'm going to do a video on it and I'm going to talk about it. I already said I wanted to move on, but it just seems like every day something big happens, and if it's something big, I am going to talk about it. This is what I mean about people going real life and you can't act your age and you have to do stupid things. She did show her proof. She's got cameras out. And this is insane. This is what I'm talking about. This is not right for whoever did this to her. We know that people can get shot, okay? Her minor was at home by herself when this happened. And I guess somebody said that Natasha was going to self-harm herself. Now, I've never heard of so many, ambulances and police and fire trucks and stuff like that coming to a scene of someone being self-harmed. But, every place is different, right? I know in the small town I lived, we had volunteer firemen that always would show up first. They're always there first. And the police would always come. It was a small town, so the police would always come no matter what. Even if it was a health issue, they would just always be there as well. I think she said there was, 2 ambulances? That's kind of bizarre, but like I said, every town is different, and especially if it's a small town. I don't know nothing about her town, so, they are different. But I know the small town I used to live in, the volunteer firemen, firewomen, whatever, they always showed up. But, this is what I'm talking about. This shit has to stop. For whoever did this, what if this call would have been a little bit different and they would have barged in? I listened to the live. I didn't listen to it all the way through, but when she was showing, her evidence, because she has cameras, thank you, subs, that, made sure she had cameras. She also had, she let everybody know that she did get her air conditioners, thanks to the subs. And she got those installed, so she's not going to suffer in this heat. That's why I'm sitting outside. It has cooled down a little bit. We are going to get some major heat tomorrow. It's going to be a scorcher, so I'm not doing any camping. But right now it's kind of cool, so I decided to sit outside. That's why you're just looking at my sky. I just wanted to sit on my swing and kind of enjoy it a little bit while it's not so hot. But this calling the police and doing these fake calls and all this horse shit, again, I don't even have words. You guys can't keep this stuff on YouTube. You have to go to the extreme and do this stuff. It's absolutely insane. And it's got to stop. Like I said, that's why I said somebody has to be made an example of. They do. um, before, in my opinion, before this stuff is going to end. Where, you know, something legally has to happen. Somebody needs to be held accountable, you know, spend some time in jail, go to jail, and maybe it will finally stop. That's why I want to do what I want to do, which I will explain in my upcoming videos. Something has to be done. This isn't okay. It's not okay. It wasn't okay to do it to Jessica Lynn. It's not okay to do it to Natasha. It's not okay to do it to anybody out there. And, you know, I could be called whatever anybody wants to call me. I'm going to call it out as I see it. It's not okay. Now, I'm going to say some other things in this video that people might not like. They might not agree with me on. But that's okay. I am calling it out, okay? Because it is major. This is major. There's been other creators that have been swatted. There has been cases where they've actually broken doors. You know, some creators that have said they've been swatted. They even showed, you know, police in their home, and people have said, you know, it's been fake. You know, people have to put their proof out there. The one thing that I don't like is when they're showing, you know, officers and firefighters, their face. I understand you want to put the proof out there because, you know, nobody believes anybody. They say they're lying. You know, where's your proof? Where's your proof? You could put your proof out there and kind of edit, do something to at least hide their faces. Again, these officers and these firefighters, they're not asking their faces to be out on social media, which is out there forever, in the drama community, okay? And I don't know if they know that this is out there. They're not asking for this. It's not fair to them for their faces to be out there. I don't think they have, you know, they gave their permission for it to be out there. And I know some other people that have put police, their faces out there to show their proof that they were swatted. And that's not right either. I mean, you can show your proof, but people know how to, you know, put the little emojis or whatever. If you're going to show screenshots or whatever to show your proof, put emojis or something over their faces to cover up their faces, okay? Don't do that. My gosh, I mean, come on. You're basically doxing them, right? You're doxing them. At least show some consideration to, you know, oh my gosh, I can't even believe that I'm saying that. I mean, you're basically the people that are there serving you and helping you out. You're blasting them out in the drama community. They didn't ask for that. So that's the one thing that I did want to point out. I know some people are going to be like, well, you're being petty about that. No, I'm not. I'm sure they wouldn't be happy to know that their faces are out in the drama community on YouTube, okay? Just saying. And that goes for a lot of people that have thought they had to show their proof that they were swatted, that their faces are out there in the drama or true crime or crama, whatever you want to call this community, because this isn't the first time I've seen it. Just saying. So, again, whoever did this, it's going to be easy for them to find out because this is a waste of resources, okay? What if somebody across town actually had an emergency and you're using up resources, you're using up the ambulance, the fire truck, the police officers, you're using up resources, and then you have to think of what this this minor, um, what she's thinking, okay? She's got all these people that are, on her deck, on her property, or whatever, what she's going through. And luckily, they didn't barge in, okay? Luckily, they didn't have their guns drawn. And luckily, because we have heard, sometimes officers, they're not perfect either. And, some people have been killed by accident because there's movement in the house, whatever. What if she could have been hurt, killed, whatever? If they barged in that house and, she had her buds in or whatever, she didn't know what was going on, and she could have been seriously hurt because she made the wrong movement, whatever. Again, people aren't thinking about others' children. And you think it's cute just to call the police and say somebody is, harming themselves, or you think it's cute to call CPS, you think it's cute to call probation officers, you think it's cute to call people's jobs, you think it's cute to do wellness checks when there's no reason to do it. When are you guys going to grow up? This is serious shit. This this isn't games. We're not in high school. We're not in middle school. When are you guys going to stop? This is serious. This isn't fun. It's not fun. And yes, I'm calling it out. I'm absolutely calling it out. Now, like I said, I am going to say some things that people aren't going to like. And there are just a few things that I have seen, okay? They're not facts. And they're not in this circle either. But I did hear, I'll get to that here in a few. I did hear her say, Natasha did say that, she was at the casino when this all happened. She has every right to go where she wants to go, okay? People are going to give her grief, and they're going to say, well, what was her child doing home alone? She already said she was just there for a few, and I'm sorry. She's at the age where she is old enough to stay home alone for a little bit, not overnight. She was just there for a little bit. She's absolutely old enough to be there for a little bit by herself, okay? There is nothing wrong with that. So if anybody wants to say anything about that, you have no argument there, okay? I am going to put it out there. She is almost, 15 years old. She's absolutely old enough to be home for a few hours by herself, even longer, okay? Not overnight, but she is old enough. Just saying. And if Natasha wanted to go to the casino, that is absolutely her own damn business. She's right about that. So I am putting that out there as well. It seems like her niece was with, her cousins, okay? So she was in, with the adults until they ran to go get some food when this all went down. But some of the things that are what she said, well, she had to bring Jessica Lynn up in it. And that kind of, irked me a little bit. Jessica Lynn, you want to whine about this and that happening to you. Where's your proof? For one thing, I don't think people have to put out their proof. If things happen, to them, there's a lot of things that Natasha has not put proof out. This she did, but she didn't put her proof out about her door being broken or CPS calls being called or anything like that. And I don't feel like you should have to put out your proof. You really don't even have to talk about it, right? You don't. Why does some feel like they have to put out their life story? I mean, sometimes we do talk about things that go on in our life here and there, but you don't have to put out. If people want to believe you, fine. If they don't, they don't. Who gives a shit? Right? Do they really matter in the end? Seriously? They're strangers on YouTube. Get over it. But then she goes on to say, about how she had people call in her probation officer, like it wasn't a big deal, so that her probation officer can, know about the lies that she's been telling. Well, first off, that's still going real life, okay? And, that could have caused just an uproar. I mean, basically what you were trying to do is to get Jessica Lynn put in jail. I mean, that was the end goal of somehow, some way. And I know some people are saying, well, Jessica Lynn didn't do anything wrong, she wouldn't be put in jail. But, when you have a bunch of people that are calling and calling and calling, then it might make a probation officer, even if that person didn't do anything wrong, it's just making a probation officer kind of side-eyed, so sorry, getting tongue-tied again. Someone, but it's pretty clear that Jessica Lynn, I think she said that she's been on probation, it'll be 4 years. She's kept her nose clean for almost 4 years. And she's going to be off of probation next month. So they've already been looking at her for, almost 4 years. And she's kept her nose clean, at least in their eyes. So, and it is not, let's say Jessica lied about every single thing that she's ever said. I'm not saying she is, but let's say she did. It is not against the law to lie. Where is it against the law to lie? On social media. There is no law. Okay? So let's say that she did lie about everything. Heck, let's say that Jessica Lynn isn't even her real name and she's lying about her name. There is no, it's not against the law to lie on YouTube. Right? It's not. So who cares? But you're telling everybody to call her probation officer and say that she's lying. I mean, come on, you went real life. Now, I don't know why Jessica Lynn was even brought up in this, okay? But then I seen a lot of people in the chat, they're saying, they're basically, well, a few that I said, or seen, I'm sorry, are making accusations. And I did see the mods, thank God, they said, don't be talking about other creators or making accusations. And yes, that's very smart because until the investigation is done, people better be very careful on who they accuse because this is serious. This is very serious. And some were making the accusations that the timing is just, perfect, okay? And I bet you it was Jessica Lynn and Jessica Lynn's people making the accusations already. Now, this is going to be pretty easy for them to figure out who did it because this is some serious stuff. Swatting is very serious. So they're going to be able to find out. They're going to be able to trace it and find out where it came from. Okay? And who made the call. I'm sure it's going to be pretty simple to find out who did this. And if somebody is accused on social media, that person that is accused needs to go legal. That's why I want to do what I want to do. Okay? They absolutely need to go legal. If they didn't do it, and they know they didn't do it, they need to go legal. Now, Natasha, as well, in my opinion, whoever did this to her, and if they have proof that, if they find out who did this, and like I said, it's very easy. When you have certain people in your family that are in a certain line of work, okay, it's pretty easy to find out because this is serious. This is serious stuff. Swatting is very serious. They have the technology. You might not think they do. They have the technology to find out. Yes, they do. Okay? So, she should know something here, you know, within a week on who actually did this. Right? And it should be released on who did this with absolute proof, unless... Sorry, I gotta be quiet here. Or, not quiet, but you couldn't hear because a big old truck went by. Unless, you know, well, I'm not gonna say too much there. But, if Natasha finds out for certain who did this, okay, and she can back it up 100% with proof, not with I think or whatever, she absolutely should go legal, okay? Absolutely, because this is not acceptable. For those in the back that didn't hear that, it's not acceptable. I don't condone it. I'm calling it out. Nobody should have to go through that. Not Natasha. Not anybody. But we have to be very careful on who we assume it was and make accusations, because those people can also go legal, right? They can. If it's put out there that this person did it, and if they can say, no, I didn't, I absolutely didn't, you better have the proof to back up that statement, because that person that is being accused of doing it can get a hold of those same men that were on that deck and say, I am being accused on social media for the world to hear that I did this. And I want to prove I didn't do it. Okay? So here's my voice. And I want to give all my evidence, my voice. And I want to find out everything that there is about this investigation, about this SWAT, because I'm the one that's being accused of it. All right? So I want some information on it too. And then put the clips out of them being accused, if you know what I'm saying. Because at that point, then, they would be involved because they're being accused of it. If you see where I'm going with this. So far, I don't think Natasha has made any accusations, but I've seen it. I've seen the ones in chat, okay? She might have her suspicions, but she's keeping that to herself. She might think she knows who's doing it, but there's a lot of people out there that have a beef with Natasha. Okay? A lot of different people. The point is, this is dangerous. This is dangerous. Very dangerous. It's beyond clapback. and it's unacceptable. Now, we're gonna move past that. I'm calling it out, okay? I didn't know I would have to do another video on going real live so soon, but I did. Now, here are some things that I find a little bizarre. Natasha, she unplugged for a few days, and before she unplugged, she did say I might not go live tonight, and then she did say she had a headache, and then she went to the casino, and she made a comment that, you know, shit hits the fan or something. Don't quote me word for word. Every time I don't go live, something happens, and, you know, shit hits the fan. And then I seen comments elsewhere where people made comments that there's going to be, you know, since they seen that comment that she wasn't going to go live, that she was going to, you know, probably wouldn't be live because, you know, we're used to seeing her live, you know, almost daily, sometimes multiple times a day, or they just assumed that she went to the casino. And a lot of people were saying we're going to see a major crisis come up soon. And the reason why they said that, and they even said it, and this was not, I didn't see this in Jessica Lynn's chat either. I seen this elsewhere. And they said, you know, we are going to see a major crisis soon, because she was very sad, talking about her channels, talking about her air conditioners, talking about how everybody else was going to be getting a paycheck from YouTube on the 21st, and she wouldn't be getting one. And she needed air conditioners, like 4 or 5 units, and they were going to see a major crisis happen here real soon. Yeah, so like I said, some people are not going to like what I just said. Now, am I saying that this didn't happen? She showed her proof, right? She did. She did show her proof because she's got these cameras, right? It absolutely did happen. There was police and everybody there. It absolutely did happen. Somebody called. Somebody called and said whatever they said. I think they said that she was going to, like I said, self-harm. So there was a major crisis. And she had a fund up, stop making false police reports, and she raised, like, I think just in that live, she raised and met her goal. It was over, it was for $3,000, and she met that goal in the one live, met it with just that. And I get that her channels are down, her other channels, and she, you know, she has been talking about other people, you know, being able to have their memberships and stuff, and people are going to be you know, they're going to be asking me, why am I talking about this? She talks about all the other channels being able to have their memberships and have their income. Natasha is making more than probably a lot of the a lot of the creators put together. I mean, in the last week, maybe week and a half, she has with her, just her PayPals. She has raked in over what, $7,000-8,000 in the last week and a half with just the PayPals. That's not Patreon, that's not makeup sales, that's not Cash Apps. Um, I mean, she already said that, you know, the air conditioners were all bought because of um, the subs. You know, the cameras were all taken care of. I mean, that's all great. She does have a community that absolutely financially supports her. Um, I am absolutely 100% fine with whatever creators make with their PayPal pulls, their Cash Apps, um, whatever they drop. I mean, I could, if I wanted to, I could put a Cash App up or PayPal. I just haven't done it yet. Am I going to? I might. I don't know. I just haven't. But I've already said before that if you like a creator's content or whatever, that's what you support. You support your creator, or you support a creator. Um, you know, that's how, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. And her community, they they are a strong community where they donate. They have every right to donate. It's their money. Um, I am the only issue that I have is the means, or the how should I put this? The how, the what is said, if that makes any sense. Okay? And now I'm just thinking. Okay? Like I said, everybody has their own brains, and it's their money, so they can donate what they want to donate to whoever they want to donate to. That's absolutely true. I just find it, I find something very, very off. Absolutely off. Okay? That's just my opinion. Absolutely nobody has to agree with me. They don't. And, but like I said, she is absolutely not hurting with those channels being down. If anything else, she is making more now with her channels being down than she was with them being up. Like I said, I mean, um, at least 7 grand in the last week and a half to 2 weeks. That's nothing to sneeze at, right? Absolutely nothing to sneeze at. And that is just with PayPal pools. At least 7 grand, because she did the 35, and then, you know, it's past 35. No, I don't keep up with how much she makes, okay? Those are just two that I know of. Who knows what it's been this month, okay? Don't really care. Like I said, I'm just thinking of what is said to people, all right? What is said to your community? How do you go about? That's what I'm thinking about. And I just find it a little bit bizarre, because when certain things happen or certain things are said, that's when the money really flows in. All right? That's when it really comes fast, it comes hard, and we've seen this before. We've seen it before. So that's all I'm going to say about that, okay? It just seems really, really bizarre, and something is just off. And, you know, they say go by your gut instinct. They really do. go by your gut. Something just is telling me something is really off. But that's just where I'm going to end it on that part. But going back to the real life, again, people need to stop it, okay? No matter who you are, you need to stop. It is getting scary. And again, they will find out. They absolutely will find out where it came from. They should have a name, or, you know, a state, city, whatever. They should be able to find out where this came from. And people need to be held accountable. Absolutely. Something's got to give. Something absolutely has to give. And we have to say no more. This you know, this isn't acceptable. And we're not going to pick and choose who we are okay with this happening to and who we're not okay. Going real life is going real life. Like I said, swatting is not okay. Calling CPS is not okay. Calling someone's probation officer is not okay. Going after someone's family members are not okay. Everybody needs to get on board and stand up, no matter if you're loyal to someone or not, and say it's not okay. Don't give excuses. All right? If you're against it, be against it. For everybody. There is no excuse. Absolutely none. Now, if you're talking about smaller little things, just like I said in my last video, I can't talk about everything everywhere, okay? I'm not everywhere. I have a life outside of here, but this was big enough to talk about, okay? Even though I feel like something is off, it's still big enough to talk about. Somebody got swatted, okay? There was a minor in the home, and that still had to, even though Natasha had her on the phone, that still had to have freaked her out. Could you imagine? Even if Natasha was talking her down and saying, hey, this is what's going on, could you imagine what she thought when she opened that door and seen all this? Now, I'm sorry. I would have to say, if it were me, and this, I'm just speaking about myself, nobody else. If it were me, okay, and I was hated that much on YouTube, even though I was raking in the bucks, okay, enough would be enough. I'm not going to put my child in jeopardy, in danger. No. If death threats are coming in on my family, if I am being swatted, okay, and this is happening, my door's getting broken, they're coming out, and this just happened, CPS is getting called all these times, and it's stopping an adoption after how many years, enough is enough. I would rather go out and get a job outside of the home and say enough is enough. My family would be more important. My children's well-being, their mental health of not having to deal with this would be more important, and I would have to say enough is enough. I cannot put them through this anymore, okay? I'm gonna have to go outside of the home, or there's a lot of remote jobs where you can work in the home. I would have to give up what I enjoyed, and I know that some people really enjoy YouTube. I would have to give up, because sometimes we as parents, we have to put our kids first. Sometimes we have to give up our own happiness and what we enjoy doing to put their well-being, you know, ahead of our own. And we have to put their happiness and their safety in front of our own. And I'm sorry if that was me and that was happening to my child or my children, and this was ongoing and no end in sight. I would have to give up YouTube. I would. And I would have to put my children that were in my home, I would have to put their safety first. I mean, what's more important? YouTube and what I enjoy doing, or my children's safety? And also my health. If it was affecting me to where I was just mentally drained and physically unhealthy, I would say enough is enough. And I would have to give it up. No matter how much I wouldn't want to do it, no matter how much the money was coming in, sometimes money is not worth it if it's going to cause you so much stress in your life, cause your children stress, cause, so much damage that it's going to make your family unhappy and feel unsafe in their own home. It's not worth it. That's just my opinion. That's what I would do. I'm not saying that's what others would do or that's what they should do. I'm just saying that's what I would do, because I would put my children absolutely first. And if I was getting swatted, or if I was getting all this death threats and my door kicked in and all this stuff, I would unplug. I'm sorry. I would unplug and they would come first. So with that, I'm going to go and I'm going to say, whoever did this, shame on you. Okay? You went real live. Shame on you. And something legally needs to be done. It does. And if you're caught, hopefully you're caught, whoever it is, and something, legally happens to whoever it was that made that phone call, and you are made an example of, that you can't get away with this. So I'm going to go ahead and go and enjoy the rest of my Friday. And everyone have a good weekend. I'm going to get on those other videos I was talking about, and we'll just get some input from you all.